want an exposure to a market or an
Everything they need in one place.
The world's foremost authority on
Individuals, advisors and institutions.
I'm here with Gareth Thompson, Managing Director of Code Potato, a web agency that specialises in websites for financial advisors. They're responsible for high-profile advisor websites such as Meaningful Money and Informed Choice. Welcome, Gareth.
Thank you for having me.
So to set the scene, financial advisors, they're kind of polarised views in how technically savvy they are. There's an element that are out there using social media and Twitter, and then on the other hand, you hear statistics like up to 10% of advisors don't even have a website. What's the truth? Where does it lie?
I think you're entirely right. I deal with a lot of clients that are already connected on social networks and can see the benefits of using the web. But on the flip side, I do still deal with the occasional inquiry where someone has never had a website and needs help and kind of education as to what they should be doing, really.
Okay, so worst case scenario, no website, presumably. Next one up, there seem to be some websites out there that look very similar in photo, copy, etc. Is that a problem or is that okay?
There is a problem with having the same content as other websites. From a search engine point of view, you'll be penalised for having duplicate content. So you might think that you're going to do well in the search engines by suddenly launching this site, but unfortunately it doesn't happen that way. And also consumers they do a bit of shopping around for other websites, and if they see two sites that look kind of similar and one site that's completely different, my bet is they'll go with the site that's taken the time to be a bit different.
Okay. And photos, it seems to be there's sort of a photo of a couple on the beach on a lot of these websites. Is that a positive thing? Does it resonate with investors? Or?
I think there was a time and a place for the stock photos of the older couple on the beach with their pina coladas, and I think nowadays you do a lot better to kind of use more unique imagery, maybe photos from your local town if you're trying to attract local clients, or if you're trying to attract a particular client or pilots or golfers, use photos that would resonate with them. But stay clear of stock photos, that's for sure.
Okay. So if you're setting up a basic advisor website, what are the must-haves?
Must-haves, professional image, good custom content. It doesn't have to be a lot, it just has to be unique. And certainly information about the service that you deliver to your clients. That really.
And beyond that, what are the sort of bells and whistles that you can add that make it a more effective lead generator?
Blogging is definitely a good tool to kind of incorporate. From a search engine point of view, it gives you kudos and gets you higher up the rankings, but also to the consumer, it just makes you appear as though you're relevant and providing content so others stay up to date. I would also say there's other tools like testimonials or case studies that you could bring in just to make yourself or to sell why people should be working with you.
Okay. So an advisor's got a website. How do they know whether it's successful for them? What kind of metrics, benchmarks should they be looking at?
Well, I would hope they're using something like Google Analytics to track the actual visitor numbers that they get into their site. And if they are using that, they should be paying a close attention to the bounce rate and exit rates of their site. If they're not using web tracking like Google Analytics, I would hope again as a firm they're kind of keeping track of all the inquiries that they receive through the phone or by email, because there will be some consumers that just go to the website and won't fill in a form. They'll just pick up the phone and give them a call. So it's tricky to measure exactly how well your site is doing, but I think it helps if the firm is recording where all the inquiries are coming from.
So you mentioned there the bounce rate. So what's a bad bounce rate? And if they've got one, what can they do about it?
A good site has a bounce rate that is under 40% of all visitors to the site. And equally, pages should have under 40% bounce rate. You can get around, or you can reduce your bounce rate by making sure the content is a bit more relevant to the visitor or to the search that people might be doing to find that page. Ultimately, it's all about making small changes, measuring it, and seeing what else needs to be done to improve it.
Okay. You mentioned before blogs. Sometimes you go to an advisor website and there's a blog on there, but it's not been updated for quite a while. Is that a negative thing? How's that judged by sort of Google, etc.?
It's tricky because I know a lot of people do recommend blogging, and I know smaller firms struggle with time mainly to provide unique content all the time, but there is an issue with having a site that appears like it's not been touched for quite a while. Consumers could think that, oh, you know, what are they doing with their time? They don't quite appreciate that you could be busy. But I still think that the fact that you have a blog is a good thing. You just need to find a little bit more time to update it, maybe a little bit more often.
Okay. And so the other elements you can add in there, sort of social media elements. So video, we're doing one now. How useful is that for an advisor website?
Video is great. Again, there's a type of client that would be interested in not having to read your site, but just having to sit there and watch a video. Again, it depends on the quality of the video. If it's shot on a crummy little iPhone or a device that wasn't made for good video, then it could have a negative effect. But I think as long as you're trying to come across as being a bit fresh and a bit different, I think the benefits outweigh the risks, really.
Okay. And over the next year, what are the new innovations that you're hoping to build into some advisor websites?
Definitely live chat. I've blogged about this before, but the live chat I think is a very interesting tool that could make a big difference to advisor websites. Ultimately, you've got to have the manpower to be able to sit there or be there ready for someone to kind of knock the door, but it's a great way of engaging clients or visitors before they've even got to the point that they're willing to get in touch with you. And I do think it will make a big difference.
Okay. So if you are a smaller firm, is there a way that you can sort of turn it off when you're out and meeting clients? Or?
Yeah, there's various different systems out there, but the one I've been using the most does have kind of an out of office or an away notice. But there's also mobile apps. So if you were just popping out the office to grab lunch, you can turn it on your phone, and that way you're still notified if someone's there.
Great. Thank you, Gareth.
No problem.
For Morningstar, I'm John Standring. Thanks for watching.